demoralising restart, isn't it, in many ways?
Heat into the tyres, absolutely critical behind the slow pace of the safety car to... And now the course workers, the marshals, to clear the track and get it ready to race once again. Which should also go to the team inside the safety car, BMW, the official vehicle of the MACAU driver, and the observer on board to keep the balls at a reasonable pace. And now they're instructed by race control to get up to full speed.
Which could only mean that we are back to go racing again. Now, the two Porsches have been in second and third round of this race. They've not really had a chance to overtake Marciello. That chance will come very soon. And you have to think that if Porsche want to take victory in this race, they've got to get at least one of those cars in front of him. If they want to control the race, they're going to need both. But I think it only needs Vettel to get alongside on the inside at the corner. And then he'll have a chance. And I say the inside because there's just no way round at the outside, is there?
Just enjoying the noise of these cars. Beautiful. And they all sound different as well. All four manufacturers sound different.
It goes round the building, I can assure you. So, the safety car brings them up Moorish Hill. Another one of the tighter corners on the track. Got to get a good restart. I haven't counted out both Mortara and Haas too. Haas has looked good in the Audi. He's leading the way for Audi at the moment. They only need something to go. On with his battle at the front, and he will sneak through. So do Farfus. Seen it before. We know can do brilliant restarts with Farfus's restart. Key here. Everybody's starting to accelerate up. Marciello leads them through. Vettel stuck to him like glue. Look at Farfus. He's right there. Well here, Farfus gets one, and now Haas is going after the next one. Oh no! And it could have been a big moment, and Vettel gets past Farfus and into the wall. And
Wait. I lost my live stream for a second. Sorry, I lost my connection.
Through Fisherman's. Let's take a look at the lap times as they come to complete this lap, because it'll give us an indication of how this battle for first place is starting to heat up again. A penalty, drive-through penalty for car 10, a jump start, and that's Christopher Wirtz.
So, yeah, Charles Wirtz.
Sorry, Charles Wirtz.
Yeah, he'll have a drive-through penalty.
And all the top three on the 221s, Marciello a 221.2, a 221.4 from Lantor Bamba, a 221.7.
It's back to how it was before the safety car.
Exactly.
It's Marciello, who we haven't spoken that much about because he has been supreme at the front with two Porsches really nipping at his heels. What can they do? Not very much so far.
Meanwhile, Van der Linde gets through. Nicely overdone. Nice overtake, excuse me.
Marciello, it is that leads. Lawrence Vantour, El Bamba, second and third in Porsches. Spreading their way up through the hilly, tight, twisty mountain section. Two Porsches going through almost as one. Those two have been so matched this weekend.
They really have. Well, and I think they're the two best Porsche drivers in the world right now. And I don't mean that, especially on street circuits. There's no question in my mind. And their records speak for themselves here. Vantour is the two-time winner, and he's been on the podium every time he hasn't won. And as for Bamba, well, once he gets the right car, he is sublime right here.
But Marciello still leads the field.
Let's not give anything away from, you know, we're talking about how good the Porsche drivers are. How good is Marciello's weekend full stop here?
Seemingly effortless, the way he makes it look.
And that Mercedes looks so much bigger, doesn't it? Maybe it's it's
livery.
Well, no, it's not so much the livery, it's the front end of it. It's so long.
It's long.
It's so almost cumbersome, but that's not the right word. It's glorious to watch. Here's another look at the restart, and Farfus had the chance to go on board with him here.
Kept right on the tail of the Porsches. That was exactly what he had to do. This is opportunity to get a podium position, potentially. Pulls out, goes alongside, and the power of the BMW slips in front. But it wasn't to be for too long. Briefly, the Schnitzer BMW into a podium position, but then Porsche fights back.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Very interesting, Lisboa corner. So then, still plenty to come from this race, and it's far from over as Marciello leads the way. The field, though, starting to spread out now, and third place Bamba losing time, without a doubt, on the leaders. I wonder if there's any damage to the car after that unbelievable escape. Certainly not as quick in this last few laps, we'll see, as Farfus now up in the game a little bit, Haas going with him, and Mortara not far behind, but look at Dries Vantour. Vantour making a family party, but he's right up there, is Vantour, and look who's behind him.
He's on the back of Jan Eriksson in the BMW, and behind him, as you point out, is Maro Engel, having started in the pit lane, up to 9th place now in the Mercedes. Mortara still there in 6th place behind the Audi, there he is. Mortara in the green machine, Haas in the yellow Audi, 5th and 6th places respectively.
Yeah, this is a good battle between them. And a good battle for midfield honours, if you will. And to say that Dries Vantour has come from the back, as has Maro Engel, they're doing a superb job in two very different machines.
El Bamba just put in the fastest overall in Sector 2. That's the first part of the mountain section. 41.218. Compares to a 41.677 for Marciello on this lap.
Bamba's just up the pace in the second sector. He's just been the fastest of the race to try to get himself back into contention with the leaders. He lost a little bit of pace there. A lot to do with the fact that he had to do some shenanigans just to stay in the race. They all come through Donna Maria.
John Eriksson leading that multi-mark four-car train as they head through the Melco hairpin. John Eriksson, BMW, Dries Vantour in Audi.
And here's the damage, unfortunately, to the Mercedes that hit the tyre wall at T3. That is Lisboa, famous Lisboa. Here they come again.
Top three as yesterday, so evenly matched. They're still absolutely as of yesterday, so evenly matched. They're still absolutely as a trio, the Mercedes and the two Porsches.
Well, Bamber has reacted well. He's just done the fastest lap of the race to get back into this, a 2:18.090, and he's very much alive again. Thought he was going to drift away. He was a long way back before, but now as they go through Mandarin again, Bamber has upped the pace. He tenths quicker than his teammate in that last lap to put himself right behind behind Vantor.
So through Lisboa, still being headed by a faultless Rafael Marciello this weekend. Mercedes number 999. Hasn't put a wheel wrong.
Well, he hasn't needed to call emergency just yet because he's been absolutely superb.
Lawrence Vantor, Earl Bamber in the chasing pack. Both in Porsches.
Meanwhile, it's starting to get a little pensive on the pit wall lane, and as they watch the monitors in the pit lane, we watch on with them.
It's the Rover Racing team down there, looking on to second and third places in the Porsches. Lawrence Vantor ahead of Earl Bamber.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing how that Mercedes just glides through the back end of this circuit. You expect it in a straight line to be a missile, but its agility compared to the Porsches is really stunning, to be honest. The chassis of that Mercedes belies its size.
These are all wonderful cars, and they all have different strengths around the gear circuit, and it's amazing to watch that over the course of a lap, it all evens out. And you've got the top three all together.
It's funny, I talked to Absolute Racing when they were racing Bentleys, and I said, how do you get this big monster of a car to be so agile? And he said, you'd be surprised. The chassis is really nimble, and it's almost an optical illusion because the car itself turns on a dime. And I was talking to Adderley Fong about it because he was racing that Bentley back then. Christopher Haas, all over Farfus. They come down towards the final corner. Haas looking to the inside, and there's no room there.
12 laps complete now, 18-lap race for the FIA GT World Cup, the SJM MACAU GT Cup.
And these four cars praying for something to go wrong at the front, and never say never, because if that does happen, they will be ready. And here come the leaders, and look at that. Marciello has definitely sprung one on them. He's gone on 2:18.3 and pulled it away.
He's made the break across the line at the end of 12 laps, just over 1 second between himself and Lawrence Vantor in second place.
And that was a major leap forward in that last lap. And the question is now, can he maintain that, and can they catch up? It could need another safety car for them to get closer, but you never know. This is where the Porsches, for me, is strong, is in this section. Certainly Bamber, in this Sector 2, which ends midway through the Solitude S's. And then Sector 3 at the end of the Melco.
Marciello is on the march on this lap as well. He's putting in personal best first sector, personal best second sector, and then Bamber responds.
Yeah, I'm going to say Bamber's just been listening to the commentary because he's just done exactly what I said he would do, which is gone the fastest in Sector 2, a 41.1, and that was 2/10 quicker than Marciello, and that may just close the gap now again.
Mortara gone as far as he can in 6th place in the Mercedes, the recovery drive for Mortara.
Here we go. Now, what happens here? And as we replay here, you can see that the Porsche is effectively switching and moving over to allow Bamber to have a go. So really interesting tactics. He says, well, I can't have him, you have him. So through goes Bamber, and now effectively Laurent Vantor is saying, hey, we both work for the same manufacturer. I can't stop Marciello, see if you can.
Between the two of them, the Porsche drivers on this lap, they've each got an overall quickest sector, with Bamber quickest in sector 2, with Vantor in 3rd place, quickest in Sector 3, and then Bamber quickest overall for the best lap of the race so far, 2:17.541.
He's reacted well to the chance given by Vantor and has upped the pace to 2/10 quicker than Marciello, and he's got 5 laps to get within touching distance. That was a smart move by Laurent Vantor, a mature move by a racing driver who's seen glory here, but I don't think anybody's budging in this group, do you?
Augusto Farfus has got the edge on the Audi as they run down.
Mortara has got past Ericsson and now goes after Haas. We're on board with him now as he heads up the hill. Like you say, that Porsche, that Mercedes is planted, isn't it? Look at him go, how smooth it is. It's only when you ride on board with Mortara that you see what Marciello is probably also experiencing. It just seems like he's not fighting it anywhere. Smooth as you like, it's almost stuck to the ground.
Show of class really from Mortara, making up places to get all the way through to 6th place.
No question about it.
Engel is up in 9th place, can't do anything about Dries van Tour, because Dries van Tour in turn can't do anything about the BMW Joel Eriksson in front in 7th.
Bamber has done it again. He's done another brilliant second sector of 41.006, another 2/10, almost 3/10 quicker than the leader, and that's where he's making the time up, Bamber. He's making it up in the mountain section as we expected, and look how close he is now. But he needs to be closer on the exit of Bend if he's going to challenge Marciello for the win. He's certainly got enough time. If he keeps taking 2/10 here and 2/10 there and staying with him at least within a few lengths of Marciello, he's going to have a crack at the end of the race. There's enough laps left. Vantor is trying to stay honest with it. Last time out, 2:17.5 from Bamber. We'll watch them as they come through again.
The gap was 1.3 seconds. What's it going to be at the end of lap number 14 with 4 laps to go? It is 0.9 of a second.
Come down again and another fastest lap by Bamber. 2:17.248 this time.
Less than 1 second between the Mercedes and the Porsche. Bamber is closing, ever closing on the back of Raffaele Marciello. And don't forget, of course, that the Porsche are very nimble in the second and third sectors of the circuit. So, 14 laps are complete. Fastest lap of the race has gone the way of El Bamber in car number 98. But it's the Mercedes of Raffaele Marciello who continues to lead.
What a race this has turned out to be. And Farfus has just put in the first sector.
First sector again.
Again. No surprise, and this is exactly what we wanted. And as we head down now to the closing stages of this race. Coming through, Farfus and Haas. There's Mortara. There's Farfus out of eternity. Marciello, on a personal best lap, and so he's reacted well to Bamber's pressure by going quicker than the Kiwi.
He's up the game. Sector 1, personal best. Sector 2, personal best for Marciello.
But you can see how hard he's having to push to do that. Oh, debris on track there, hitting Bamber's car, but doesn't seem to have affected him. But this is a real cat and mouse game between these two very famous marks. The original Mercedes against the most famous name in sports car racing and endurance racing, Porsche. They've won it all. Mercedes stayed out of racing for a long time, and of course they'll be racing for victory in Brazil in a few hours' time in Formula One, but they're just as competitive in GT racing too. Check this out. How close does Bamber go to the wall? I've got a feeling he might hit this. Check it out through police. Oh, Earl loses a mirror. He doesn't need that. It's a flesh wound. Go on, Earl. You don't use them anyway.
What a wonderful souvenir for one of the course workers.
What a wonderful sight. What a great replay. That just shows you how hard he's pushing. Look, he's lightened it up a little.
Yeah.
He's lost at least maybe half a pound.
Yeah, that upsets my symmetry. The Porsche is so beautiful and it's all gone wrong.
No, that's Bamber. He'll take the other one off for the next lap. You watch. So, last time out, Marciello did a 2:17.3. The gap's gone back up from 0.9 to 1.4. So, sadly, a little bit slower last time out. Look at this. Farfus, Haas, Mortara, and Joel Eriksson all going at it. The lights are on. Vantor's involved as well. He's just on the fastest first split to 25. Very much in the hunt here. Trying to get round San Francisco. And Dries Vantor is determined to go through.
Oh, what a wonderful view back from the Mercedes of Eduardo Mortara. The BMW heading the train with Dries Vantor, Engel just behind. They thread their way through this incredibly tight, demanding section of the circuit. Fantastic shot.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pictures. I think Marciello's cracking this, you know. Yeah. He's doing a really good job.
Extended the gap to 1.4 at the end of the last lap.
The only way Bamber can stay with him is to take risks he really shouldn't take, because he almost took himself out on that last lap of release. Even that, by his standards, was very, very tight. And he only lost a wing mirror, but he lost time, more importantly. And unless he can catch up in this lap, it's starting to look like a Mercedes victory yet again at the mighty Macau.
What about Marciello and their respective sector times? Well, personal best in sector 3 just now by El Bamber. 44.68 compared to 44.74 for Marciello. So after losing the wing mirror and maybe a tenth or two on that lap, Bamber is back on it, but he's getting increasingly fewer laps with which to do anything about the race leader. Marciello has controlled it beautifully. Briefly, we've got somebody else going quickest. Bamber's just been in the fastest lap of the race.
2:17.1.
Wow. So El Bamber in his pursuit of the leader, Rafael Marciello, at 2:17.182. The gap, 1.1 seconds at the end of that lap. This lap, and one more to go in the World Cup.
Unbelievable race so far. It's been this way throughout it, and we've had plenty of drama. And we've had a restart, a safety car restart, which Farfus didn't jump on, almost got into third, but then Bamber and Vantor bounced back. This battle has gone all the way through. Dries Vantor and Engel have done a brilliant job. So too has Mortara as they head through Lisboa to catch up in the midfield. And that's been a superb matchup for the four of them throughout this race. While we say that, it's certainly not over.
Great view back to the battle being headed by Joel Eriksson for 7th place on this, the 17th lap out of 18. Looking back from the master, Eduardo Mortara. It's had a difficult race starting from the back of the grid, but he's up to the job.
Now, just how close is Bamber? He just did a second faster split again, something he's done before. A yellow flag out at turn 2. That won't affect these two at the moment, but if it stays yellow and there's a problem and a car stuck in
turn 1, actually. It's turn 1.
Oh, turn 1.
That's an unusual one.
So look out the window.
That's an unusual one.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon find out, because they're coming that way. We're coming down to the closing stages of this one. Rafael Marciello, the Italian, has done a superb job. And you know what? This would mean so much to Rafael's year, because he's had a good year, but he hasn't had a stellar year. This is his 3rd visit to Macau in GTs. His best result, a 9th place last year. But now he's stretching his legs. And as we head on to the final lap, no problems at turn 1 for either racer. Bamber's got one chance, but I can't see it happening personally.
0.7 of a second behind. That's the closest he's been for many a lap to the back of the Mercedes of Marciello. But it's one thing to close up, it's another thing to pass, and at Macau, it can prove very, very tricky indeed. Bamber's not close enough. It's the last lap.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it. And like I said, Marciello's had a good season. He was 4th in the GT World Challenge in Europe for the Blackman GT Series. In the 24 Hours of Nürburgring, he got a podium there, but that was a 3rd place. What he wanted was a 1st. And here he comes to represent the mark that is Mercedes.
He was right on the tail of Marciello, wasn't he?
Yeah, look at this. Dries Van Toor still looking for a way past, so Mauro Engel.
They've all closed up, haven't they?
Absolutely. The last lap, you got it.
And Bamber right on the tail of the Mercedes as well. He knows this is the final opportunity, but will the opportunity be there?
I don't think so, unless Marciello makes a mistake. I don't think Bamber's going to be able to do anything enough to stop Mercedes from taking yet another victory here at Macau. Into police, time running out. Bamber's kept him honest, got the chance when Van Toor, and you wonder now whether Van Toor should have let him past earlier. Just a question mark. That said, Van Toor was putting in similar time, so there was no reason to. And of course, no one could have predicted the battle whereby... Oh, and he hits him! He hits him and almost takes him out! Bamber makes a mistake! He did not intend to take Marciello out of the race, but he does intend to get past. And there will be just some discussion, I'm sure, after that. But here comes Bamber, because the race is still on. But that was a big clatter from behind as Bamber goes for victory. One more corner to go, and Earl Bamber just got desperate. But in the end, Marciello, despite being hit from behind, is going to come round the last corner, and it's going to be Mercurial Marciello with a Mercedes win at mighty Macau. What a way to finish that race, and frankly, that was a mistake from Bamber.
Well, we couldn't have predicted that.
No.
Goodness me.
A rare mistake under braking by Bamber. He will be very apologetic because there wasn't any intention, I don't think, for him to try to nerve him out of the way, and the stewards would have totally jumped in. But Group M Racing do it. And disappointment you can see for Porsche, but of course they realise they've been part of a very, very good motor race. Hats off to Marciello. He got lucky there. I tell you what, he could have got turned around, and that could have stopped the whole race.
Wow. Here comes Mortara to enjoy the World Cup moment for the manufacturers alongside the race winner, Raffaele Marciello.
So here we go. Let's have a look at this again, because Marciello comes in, and here comes Bamber. He brakes. And I think Marciello was a little slower than Bamber was expecting, maybe a little slower than before, and Bamber wasn't expecting it to be. And then we come down. Here we come to the end, and you'll see Bamber also braking at the line. And there's also an investigation.
Well, I didn't fully see it. It's gone from the screen now, so 42.91.
Now, watch Bamber here. He slows right down to let Van Toor come along and take the second place.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So the investigation is Augusto Farfus, Joel Eriksson, 2 BMWs, and Mauro Engel for possible disrespect of yellow flag procedures.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were in such a battle, I'd forgive them, to be honest. But that was mighty.
What a World Cup.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Well, it didn't need to go to penalties, did it?
And well, I don't know, there's an investigation.
It may go to penalties yet.
So, I think Marciello is safe and secure because he has been too perfect this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to say, talk about a guy who really has not done anything wrong all weekend long. That was excellent.
Supreme. The celebrations of winning a World Cup in Macau.
And the manufacturer that brought the car to us is continuing 2019 to be a dominant force in world sports cars. Fantastic stuff. Here's a check on the result then after the final race for the GTs. Marciello, Van Toor and Bamber. That's how it finished. Farfus Jr. taking 4th place, whilst his winner Haas, Mortara, Eriksson, Dries Van Toor, Mauro Engel, Kelvin van der Linde in 10th position, Then Bruins, Wirtz, Chen, Piccarello in 14th position, Estri and Imperatori and Adley Fong not finishing 3 laps down, unfortunately, for the man from Hong Kong. But it was a race that had everything. You can't deny that. Really good stuff and well worth the wait. Had a little bit of a wait yesterday before the start, but when they got underway, Marcello was again brilliant. I think we've been given a true display of GT's excellence in the last few days. Well, the 66 MACAU Grand Prix is certainly living up to its billing. Here comes Van Toor's car. There's Bamber's car, number 98, going into Parc Fermé. Be interested to hear what is said. Like I said, I know Earl pretty well, and he's not a dirty driver, and he certainly isn't somebody who would try to knock somebody out of a race that way. I think he'll be very apologetic, although he did try his hardest to win the race. Don't think he intended to hit the back. I think actually, like I said, when I saw the replay, Raphael, don't hurt that beautiful car. That's a happy Italian, don't you?
Just shows you how much it means, doesn't it? As the victory at Macau can be so rewarding.
Well, he's won plenty of GT races, but this is going to be right up there. There's no question about it. Under the pressure that he was under, and having to do it over 2 days, and having to do it around a street circuit, there isn't any harder way of winning a motor race. Well done. And well done to Group M as well. They've got a big history of success around the world, and that will be right up there as well. Did a quick interview with Marcello on Thursday, and you know, steady as you go, just very nonchalant, but quietly confident that it would be a battle against the Porsches. That was identified early on. I think after free practice 1, we knew that the battle was going to be between Mercedes and Audi.
He soaked up the pressure. He was under huge pressure, and throughout the race, the Porsches, if it wasn't Lawrence Van Toor, it was Earl Bamber. Both of them there all the time on the back of the Mercedes. Victorious at Macau. And we'll hopefully get to hear from the drivers as well.
Quick look at the highlights then from our GT finale. Yes, ducks to water these boys, and Adley Fong, thumbs up from him. Likewise, Kevin Estri, as everybody got ready. Plenty of fans out, including the ones with the drivers. But as we got to the start, it was all Marcello, chased hard by the Porsches, as it was all race long. Farfus didn't get the start he wanted, but did slot into 4th place. A few drivers going wide, but keeping it high and mighty, and into the race. And then we settled down with Bamber chasing hard on Marcello. A few comings together, including the Swissman losing out at Lisboa and losing a rear wing. Then a big crash. Kevin Estri smashes his way into the Mandarin corner, and out of the race he goes. At the restart, Farfus, look at this, up to 3rd place. Another good restart by the Brazilian, and a little moment there, and back comes the Porsche, sneakily, loved it. Into the barriers goes Wirtz and Imperatori. But then at the front, the Porsches trying to build on that lead and trying to stay with Mr. Marcello. Bamber given the choice to go and chase he did, losing wind mirrors, smashing into the back of the Mercedes, but Marcello wasn't having any of it. Across the line came the Italian for another brilliant win by Mercedes-Benz. Lauren Van Tor gifted second, and Bamba will settle the third. So we await the podium now, as everybody I think is out of their cars. No further action between 42.91 and 8.88, and that was because of yellow flag.
Yellow flag, possible yellow flag disrespect.
Fair enough. Just listening in here, we're getting some good chat.
I feel wrong eavesdropping.
No, I don't. I love it. This is my favourite part because what he just summed up the race. It was good for us to have the BMW go up to third, and maybe Van Tor should have let Bamba go earlier, and that was what they were saying, because effectively both the combination of Farfus getting third at the restart and Van Tor maybe spending a little too long before he let Bamba go for it gave Bamba fewer laps anyway to chase down Marciello, and that was the story of the race. I love it when we actually hear from the teams about, you know, almost verifying what we thought was the case. But of course, it's all talk.
It is.
No one can be the wiser as to what could happen, will happen, but there's always plenty to talk about. So, how's your weekend going?
It's not bad.
It's been a good day, isn't it?
Not bad.
Not bad. I've never actually seen you on the ceiling before.
No. We've been close a couple of times. But then again, we do have the Grand Prix to look forward to.
Oh, just that little affair. That won't disappoint. Yeah, it's a beautiful sight. I'd like to see the back of it, see how badly it was clattered. I was going to finish my sentence. When we saw the replay, I got the feeling that Bamba had done what he'd always done, but to a certain extent, Marciello had slowed mid-corner, or was slower mid-corner than he had been on previous laps, and it caught Bamba out. As you can see, it was a tiny tap, nothing much to it, really.
There it is.
Yeah, that's it there. And it really didn't make any difference. It looked more dramatic, perhaps, than you know, but it was at the time, last lap, and you think, whoa, what's going on?
Well, it was just a kiss after all.
Yeah, it was.
Just a kiss.
It was just a German kiss to manufacturer to manufacturer.
Right, then we're ready with the podium for
Here
the
comes
SJM MACAU
Ian
GT Cup
Titchmarsh
FIA
with the
GT
podium.
World Cup. First of all, can I ask to come forward onto the podium the second runner-up, Earl Bamba. Yeah, thanks very much, Earl. In third place, second runner-up. The first runner-up, Lawrence Van Tor. Thanks, Lawrence. And the winner of the SJM MACAU GT Cup FIA GT World Cup, Raffaele Marciello. Driving Mercedes, could also ask, please, the winning manufacturer representative, Stefan Vendel, head of Mercedes AMG Motorsport Customer Racing, to join the podium. And now the national anthem of the winning driver. And now the national anthem of the winning manufacturer. Could I now ask, please, the presentations to be made, first of all, to the second runner-up, the third place finisher by Mr. Timothy Fogg, Director of SJM. To make the presentation to Earl Bamber. Congratulating Earl Bamber and the trophy for finishing third place and the photograph opportunity. And yes, you can stay on the podium to be joined by Ms. Angela Leong, the Managing Director and Chief Administrative Officer of SJM, to present the trophy to Lawrence Van Tor, the second place finisher. Well done to Lawrence for second place, and now to present the trophy to the winner, could I ask please Miss Daisy Ho, Chairman of the Board of Directors of SJM, to come onto the podium to present the laurel and the trophy to the winner of the 2019 SJM Macau GT Cup, Raffaele Marciello. And if you could all cluster together for the photograph, that's the drivers, all three of them on the top of the podium, it's a space. Thank you very much. So, if the drivers could stay on the podium, you get your champagne shortly, but there's more trophies to be presented. So the next one is the FIA GT World Cup for drivers, a trophy presented by the FIA, and is going to be presented by Mr. Frédéric Bertrand, the FIA Circuit Championships Director, to be presented to Raffaele Marciello, which I think deserves a round of applause. I know you've applauded Raffaele already, but please stay with us, Monsieur Bertrand, because we have another trophy for you to present, and that is the winning manufacturer trophy, the FIA GT World Cup for the winning manufacturer, presented to Stefan Wendel, the head of Mercedes-AMG Motorsport Customer Racing. And stay for a photograph, please, sir. Thank you very much. Right, got the photographs there. Thank you. Thank you. One more trophy to present before we get to the champagne. This is the FIA GT World Cup for winning manufacturers, a trophy presented by the Macau GP Organising Committee, and that's going to be presented by Mr. Charles Lowe, the chairman of the Automobile General Association of Macau, China. And that's going to be presented to Stefan Wendel. Quite a hefty trophy, that. And Mr. Lowe, if you can stand in the middle of the podium for the photograph. Happy to stand there. Right, well, you can put your trophies down because we're now about to get the champagne. So the champagne, their eyes light up at the prospect of covering each other with the fizzy stuff. You can see, it's not the first time that they have been on the podium in various parts of the world. Right.